Sebastian Mendel Martinez, MMAnytt, here in Houston, Texas for UFC 192, where Ryan Darth Bader faces Rashad Evans on the main card. So, Ryan, you're on a 4-fight winning streak. There was a pretty heated exchange, verbal exchange with Daniel Cormier, the now reigning champion, and yet still, despite all that, you did not receive a title shot, which surprised a lot of people, especially considering that now Alexander Gustafsson is coming from a knockout loss, is facing him. It's got to be a little bit bittersweet, you know, getting put on a big card against a big-name opponent, but not necessarily the big-name opponent you wanted.
Yeah, but I forgot about that whole situation when I got the name. It was getting at me when I didn't have a fight, and they were scheduled, Gustafsson and DC, and I was left without an opponent. But then I got the Rashad fight. If I wasn't fighting Cormier, that's a fight I would want. Top 5 guy, former champion. We're all on the same card. And then for me, I let it go, thinking about Rashad in front of me, and that was really it. And so I'll think about everything else once this fight's over and go out there and get the win, and then I can move on. But I'm going. I don't have a shot at those guys if I don't win right here.
All right, well, in that case, let's move on from that. Rashad Evans, like you said, I mean, he's a big star, a former champion, but he's had some hard times, lots of injuries. Do you think that will affect his performance? Because he hasn't been in the cage for a long time, and there's always a question of ring rust. And what do you think? Do you think it will affect it?
I'm expecting the best Rashad to come out. I'm expecting the Rashad to win out there, win the championship in 205-pound division. I've trained for that. I'm ready. I've been training since Phil Davis fight when I thought I was fighting Cormier a couple times and all that. So I'll be ready. I know that, and so it doesn't matter what else is happening. But yeah, it could affect him. 2 years without fighting, let alone being injured in 2 ACL surgeries on top of that. Just that time off could be, detrimental. But then alone with the injuries coming in and having to jump right into training camp, it's not like he got in shape and then came into training camp. He went right from his rehab right into training camp. But for me, I don't look at it. I'm not counting on anything. I'm counting on the best Rashad out there. So that's my mindset going in.
All right, well, facing the best Rashad Evans out there, style-wise, I mean, where do you see yourself having an advantage, and where do you see him presenting the biggest threat?
Yeah, he's quick. He's very good at setting up his punches with his takedowns. Yeah, and very athletic. He's experienced, so he's been in those tough fights. He's been in those fights where he had to find a way to win. For me, I feel like I have the ability to put anybody down with my hands at any given moment. I feel like I'm a better MMA wrestler. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life and being comfortable in there now and with more experience. And so for me, it's going in there and kind of imposing my will, my game plan on him. So that's where I feel like I gotta have that hand up on him.
And I mean, like I said, you got a tremendous amount of power in your hands. We've seen that before, but it hasn't really come together in the past couple of fights. You haven't really managed to get the finish. Is there anything has it just been the fact that you've been facing the best guys out there, or is there maybe something hasn't really been coming together?
Yeah, I mean, facing top 10 competition my last 4 fights, and top 5 competition. So those guys aren't easy to finish, So I do want to go in there every time and get a finish and make it happen. But for me, I want to make it 5 wins in a row with a name like Rashad at the end of that, to let UFC know, the fans know that I'm for real and I deserve that next shot, or I deserve the top, to be in that top tier. So I want to go out there and win impressively.
Now, obviously, we don't want to take out any wins beforehand or such, but I mean, should you get the win over Evans, surely there can't be anyone in the division more deserving of a title shot than you, right?
Yeah, you never know how it goes. There could be injuries, with John Jones maybe coming back, that whole deal, and so you never know. I'm not counting on any of that. For me, it's not looking too far in the future. It's looking at Rashad right now. It doesn't matter if I don't go out there and win. So for me, it's really just getting it done right here and there, and then afterwards, if DC wins or whatever, we can pick up where we left off and go from there, or if Gustafsson wins, that's a new fresh matchup, and it all depends on John Jones' situation too. So I know he's been kind of promised a title shot when he comes back also, so we'll see what happens. There's so many variables right now that all I can control is that Rashad fight in front of me.
Now, we don't want to take your focus too much away from it, but, say, knock on wood, one of the 2 fighters in the main event gets injured. Would you be willing to just switch up game plans completely and take on, say, either Gustafsson or Cormier?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But we've made it through the fight camp and all that, so that's the biggest thing. Now people are safe. As far as being here, they made it to the fight week. We're here in Houston. We're not going balls out and crazy in training. We're making sure we obviously make it to that fight. So, but yeah, that's my goal: fight for the title, win that title. So I'd gladly step in.
All right, so in an ideal world, everything goes as planned. How does Saturday's fight with Rashad Evans end?
Like I said earlier, I want to go out there and not only win, but win impressively. I think I have to make a statement for me to be considered for a title shot. I need to go out there and just look impressive. Go out there and beat a guy that the UFC and all the fans know what he's capable of, and prove it to myself, prove it to everybody that I belong there. So that's all it comes down to. I want to win impressively.
All right, well, impressive win is always appreciated by MMA fans and media alike. Ryan, thank you very much.
Thank you.